This is the real reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers trade away safety Minkah Fitzpatrick. So, many people were shocked when the trade went down and the Steelers received Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith for Minkah Fitzpatrick, because many people did not think that Minkah Fitzpatrick would ever be traded, that he and Mike Tomlin's relationship was so close that he would stay on the Pittsburgh Steelers for as long as possible. But no, that's not the case. The trade went down, people were shocked, and Minkah is now a Dolphin again. So the Pittsburgh Steelers get rid of him, and this is the reason why. But first, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also like this video. Now, let's get right back into it. So, you remember last season when everyone on the defense, when the Steelers were going downhill, were talking about miscommunication, people being in the wrong spot, and things of that nature. And we're trying to pinpoint who it is. Is it Dante Jackson or is it someone else? And many people didn't bring up Minkah Fitzpatrick. But when you truly evaluate the film and look at the player that was always out of place, always seemed to have miscommunication, and always seemed to be like 5 feet away from his player, and someone is wide open in his area, it is Minkah Fitzpatrick. And I believe the miscommunication started there. The Steelers saw it on the film and got rid of him for a cornerback in Jalen Ramsey, who they know is still playing at a high level, even though he's getting older. So they decided to get off Minkah Fitzpatrick's contract, which is still one of the highest paid safeties in the entire NFL, for someone who's not doing his job at a high level anymore, and get someone who's on a 1-year contract, and that money can be gone after the season. So Minkah Fitzpatrick, I believe, was a forefront of that miscommunication. And to be honest with you, there's a post up right now on my X, my Twitter page. If you want to go check it out, I'll link it down in the comments below. It's a video deeply going into detail of the missed routes, the missed coverage of Minkah Fitzpatrick always being slow defending his player and always having miscommunication. It's up on my X, the first post, if you want to go check it out. But it's basically the film of him always being out of place. And it truly, when you watch it, makes you think, hey, I didn't realize this in the moments. I might have thought about it, but I didn't realize it truly how misplaced he was a lot of the times. Because when you truly look at it, he was the one who was the forefront of that miscommunication. And because I can't play the video because of copyright on this YouTube video, I'm going to put out some pictures on the screen right now and throughout the video of the mishaps that were strictly because of Minkah Fitzpatrick. So here they are. And they all are from this last season. Now, I'm not trying to hate on Minkah Fitzpatrick, because Minkah Fitzpatrick, when you look at what he talked about and how he went about his work, he is a Pittsburgh Steeler. And that's why you thought he was going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler for a while, because the way he went about his business. He did some great things in Pittsburgh. His first 5 years here, making all-pro, getting interceptions, leading the league in interceptions, and really turning around this defense for a little bit when he first got traded. So he did some great things here. And this isn't a video to bash him. This is a video to talk about the reason why he was traded and why many people were shocked, but really you shouldn't be. So let me praise Minkah Fitzpatrick one more time before I get more into why he was traded. So Minkah Fitzpatrick, if you remember, there was that Steelers logo in the middle of the floor in their locker room, and he decided to put a little bearing around it because he was upset of Steelers players and anyone just stepping on the logo. He thought it was disrespect. So he valued the Pittsburgh Steelers organization and Steeler Nation a lot, and we did as well. So Minkah Fitzpatrick, in his short term here, he was really a Pittsburgh Steeler. Now, that doesn't take away from the fact that his play on the field was kind of going bad the last few years. So in his last 30 games, he has 1 interception. And yes, you could look at his first few games and his first few seasons here and say, yeah, but he led the league in interceptions, and maybe it was just a bad few seasons. Yes, you can say that, but at the same time, no. Because those interceptions mostly were tipped interceptions, meaning that he wasn't exactly jumping that route. He wasn't in the right place. It was just that the ball got tipped, it was high in the air, and it just magically landed to where he was. So it was someone else doing the work and him getting the interceptions. So yes, it was really good for our team right then and there, but that's where most of the interceptions came from. In the last 30 games, having one interception and having very low productivity as one of the highest paid safeties in the NFL, and someone who's getting paid so much for defense, that's just a way to get you out of a team and a way to get that contract off your team. And the Steelers took full advantage of that because they probably didn't want to pay him no more. And to be honest with you, what's the point of paying a safety if your cornerback group is not good? And that's what the Pittsburgh Steelers are basically doing the last few years, paying a safety to kind of cover for all their mishaps at the quarterback spots, but that safety couldn't do it anymore, couldn't cover those mishaps anymore. And he was at the forefront of those mishaps, and everyone was talking about it. You saw Patrick Queen talk about it. You saw Deshaun Elliott talk about it. You've seen TJ Watt even talk about miscommunication. Mike Tomlin talk about miscommunication late towards the end last season. Even Minkah Fitzpatrick himself talked about it, but he was a forefront of it. So he was slow covering his guys, wasn't getting interceptions anymore, and was at the forefront of the miscommunication, and that's why he's out of Pittsburgh. The Steelers decided to go with Jalen Ramsey instead. And to be honest with you, when you look at having a safety in terms of Minkah Fitzpatrick and you playing him cover high, the reason why you're playing him cover high and going shading over other people's areas is because you don't believe your cornerback can really guard him. So if you get a cornerback in Jalen Ramsey, Darius Slay now, and Joey Porter Jr., and you fully trust them that they can stay with their player, you don't need that high safety to kind of shadow and double team because you trust those cornerbacks to stay with their guys. And because you didn't have those cornerbacks, you needed someone to play over and shade over because if something broke down, they're there to clean it up. But now that you trust your cornerbacks, many people are talking about, yeah, but we don't have a free safety. Well, you shouldn't need a free safety at that high caliber, all pro safety, because you don't have to cover those mishaps anymore. Yes, you really need a good safety, and having maybe someone like Justin Simmons, a free agent, come in and do the work, yes, that could be a really good pickup, but it doesn't need to be an all pro there. Having cornerbacks that are all pro, I believe, is better than having a safety that's all pro. And the Steelers realize that, and that's the reason why they did that trade. They get two Pro Bowlers and Jonnu Smith on the offense, in which they want to get back to running the football and use the middle of the field and doing 3 tight end sets. And then they also get an all-pro cornerback and Pro Bowler in Jalen Ramsey. So getting 2 Pro Bowlers for a declined player in Minkah Fitzpatrick, that I believe that's good value. And you get off of his contract as well for some expiring deals and people that maybe you want to extend if you believe they could play well. But anyway, the Pittsburgh Steelers trade away Minkah Fitzpatrick. Many people are wondering why. Well, that's the real reason why. And like I said, the video is up on X on my page if you want to check it out. It's very interesting because it's something you don't realize in the moment, or you realize, but you don't realize how bad it is. So, Minkah Fitzpatrick is gone, and he reunites with the Miami Dolphins. And if you remember, the Miami Dolphins, they first had him, and he was the reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers landed him in the first place. Because he was in Miami, wanted out, Dolphins traded him to the Steelers for a first-round draft pick, and now years later, he reunites in Miami, and another trade goes down for him. But this time, it's really just a 5-year loan that the Steelers did for Minkah Fitzpatrick. And I'm not saying that Minkah Fitzpatrick was never a good player, because he was, and that's the reason why he was a first-round draft pick that we traded away, especially in a year where Big Ben went down with an elbow injury. That pick could have been number 1 pick, but the Steelers traded away for Minkah Fitzpatrick. So, they truly believed in him. He gave us good 5 years, but at some point, his play started to start declining, and it was the past 2 seasons, and that's why he's out of here. The Steelers decided, hey, we see the film, we see it's going downhill, let's get off of you as soon as possible. Mike Tomlin always had high praise for him, saying that he's the next Ed Reed, telling Ed Reed that he reminds him of him. And if he could do that, if he could go out and trade him, there's a reason why Mike Tomlin traded him. One of his favorite players on the team is because of the decline play. But anyway, that's in this video. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Your thoughts on Minkah Fitzpatrick, and this reason being the reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers traded him. Do you believe Minkah was the forefront, like I believe, of the miscommunication and the downplay for the Steelers late towards the end of last season on defense, leave me your thoughts down in the comments below. And also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news, updates, highlights, analysis reports, everything surrounding this team. I've covered it and will cover it, and especially training camp highlights analysis that's right around the corner with all the new players going to be involved there. So stay tuned for everything Pittsburgh Steelers football. And that's it for me. Subscribe to the channel, turn notifications, like the video, share the video, and until next time, until tomorrow, when the video will be Jonnu Smith, this new trade addition, and what he could bring this team with highlights and my analysis. I'll see you guys all later. Until then, that's it for me. I'm out. Peace.